everybody, this is Randy from Randy's Crafty Creations, and I am coming to you today with a video and instructions on how to make this cute trifold card. It opens just like that. I've got the measurements for you and I'll show you everything that I used. So I posted this last week on a couple of sites and I had told people I would get the tutorial done. Well, I've got the tutorial done, so I wanted to go ahead and do a quick video on it. So to make this one, I used my Petals and Posies stamp set, which I absolutely love. I also used the phrase on the inside from Sweet Seasons, "In everything give thanks," and that is right here on top. I just love that phrase. Love those colors. I also used the Petals and Posies dies. I used this one right here in 3 different colors. I used mint macaron, I used crushed curry, and I used rich raspberry in here. On for my paper, I used the designer series paper, the Petals and Posies. I know I'm saying it wrong, and I'll have the right name of it printed on the bottom of this video. So I used Night of Navy and rich raspberry and the mint macaron to make this card. I think it came out great. I just love the colors. So I wanted to share that with you. I also used teeny tiny little Velcro dots. I cut a piece off just to keep the card closed because it's a tri-fold card. It doesn't want to stay closed. So I just did that to keep it closed. Anyhow, I also used my layering circle dies to make this. So I cut the smaller circle with this one, the bigger circle with this one, and then I cut the scallop out as well as nested the circle in there, and that's how I got this cute little circular frame. So you can find all these things on my website at randycollins.stampinout.net, and I'll have the address and the links and all that at the bottom of this video and on my blog, so that you can go ahead and get what you need to make these cards. So let me go ahead and show you what we're going to use today. So today we are going to make it with the Cookie Cutter Christmas stamp set. Love that set. All right, and that's what I'm going to do for you for the demo today. So let me go ahead and move this over. So I'm going to use my Cookie Cutter Christmas. Yes, I have my cheat sheet, so I remember my colors. We're going to go ahead and use the little gingerbread man, and we're going to do it in Real Red and in Crumb Cake. We're going to use our gingerbread builder punch, and we are going to use our designer series paper from the Holiday Occasions catalog, Candy Cane Lane, and that's what I used for this card. I've already got the pieces cut out, but I'll go ahead and explain them to you. Let me just move my ink over here. All right, got my bone folder handy. Got my punch, got my paper. Okay, so let me go over some measurements, and then I'll go ahead and we'll make our another little cookie cutter guy. All right, you are going to need 2 pieces of crumb cake cardstock. Actually, only 1. You're going to go ahead and cut this piece, and you're going to cut it 5.5 by 8.5, and you're going to score it at 4 1/4, right down the middle, just like we always make a card, right? For our A2 size. And then you're going to reverse it before you lay it on your Big Shot and cut out the hole. And I used, remember, I used the smaller die to cut out the hole in this side of the card, because you want this one to be smaller. And then you'll fold that in half. Give it a nice tight crease. Okay. This piece is a little trickier. This one's going to be cut at 5 by 5.5. Okay. And scoring down the long side, you're going to come in 3/4 of an inch and you're going to score down on the 5.5 inch side. Okay. To make this section here, you're going to go in 2 inches, draw yourself a line to the center point. Here, go in 2 inches, draw yourself a line to the center point to get this piece right here. This is going to fold. You're going to use your bigger circle framelit to cut out that hole, okay? And when we glue them together, we're going to glue them together just like that. And that's how we're going to get that trifold effect with a piece of 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock, okay? So that's for our card base. To layer our card together, and I had my little cheat piece of paper, and I need to find it. There it is. All right. So to layer our card together, the bottom layer, the red, is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and my pattern paper is cut by 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. And you're going to do the same thing that you normally do when you make a card. You're going to cut your layering pieces a little bit smaller, but you're going to go ahead and line up your paper, and I would go ahead and glue them together first. Line up your paper, figure out where it's going to be in conjunction with the hole that you already made with your circle framelit. Draw a little circle in there, lay your framelit on, and cut it. And then this way you have an exact fit. Okay, so we're going to do that. For this piece, same thing. Start out with your original height and width. Just cut them just that smidgy shorter. And you're going to go ahead and lay it on. Draw your circle, and prepare to go ahead and use your die to cut out your hole. And then over top of it, for that nice finish, is going to be your scalloped edge frame. So I'm real excited. We'll put this together. On the inside of the card, we have our piece of Whisper White, and that piece of Whisper White is cut by 4 by 5 1/4, and it's just going to lay on the inside. That's what I'm going to stamp my sentiment on. That's what I'm going to adhere with my dimensionals, my gingerbread man to, so that we could go ahead and finish our card. So let me go ahead and show you how to stamp our gingerbread man. So I'm going to get out my crumb cake first. Now, I cheated just a little bit, because, you know, I like to always do things faster, mass produce them a little quicker. So I saved this little piece of trash right here. And I'm going to use that as a template. I'm going to lay it down on my piece of white. I'm going to lay my stamps inside. And then when I pick them up with my clear block, I can stamp them back down on this piece of paper. And then when I go to punch them out, see how it looks like with the punch? When I go to punch them out, I can punch it all at one time. So it makes it just a little bit faster. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to take my gingerbread boy or girl, depending on where you put her bow or his bow, and lay it right inside the piece that has already been punched out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the bow and come here and lay it inside there. Sometimes my fingernails get in the way, but for the most part it works. All right, so I've got them laid in my template. I'm going to go ahead and pop my block down, pull them up. I'm going to put this back in my little case because I hold on to that. I'm going to take my gingerbread boy, get him all inked up in crumb cake. Okay, I'm going to take my little bow, and very carefully, you can either use your Stampin' Write markers, or you can just really carefully ink up just your bow. There. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stamp those on here. I'm just going to press down firmly. I'm on my piercing mat. This is a photopolymer stamp, so you do need some cushion to get a nice, firm, and crisp image. And there we go. We have that. Go ahead and close my ink, because otherwise I will put my hand in it and make a mess. All right, I'm going to slide these guys into my punch. And you're going to see, by cheating the way we did, we can cut it all at one time. So we have our little gingerbread man, we have our little bow, and we did it all at one shot. I was a little off in punching there, but that's okay. It's kind of hard to do sometimes when you're on camera. Anyhow, let me go ahead and move those over. And let's go ahead and start putting our layers together. So the first thing I want to do is I want to stamp here on the inside, my inside layer. And I'm going to use one of the phrases from the same stamp set. And I'm going to use Warm Heartfelt Greetings for a Very Merry Christmas. So I'm going to pull that one off. I'm going to go ahead and get my eye block, which is way too big, but it's what I have on my table, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. And I'm going to stamp that in the real red. I'm going to ink it up. Remember not to rock your stamps. And I'm going to put it right here at the top of my Whisper White. Just going to hold it there for a few seconds. I want it nice and dark. Excellent. All right. Warm Heartfelt Greetings for a Very Merry Christmas. So that's going on the inside. All right. Let that dry for a second. The very first thing that I am going to do is I want to put this piece on the back. Okay. You can cut out another piece if you want to cover it, but I'm going to lay it right there on the back. Okay. I'm going to use my Stampin' Up! Tear and Tape. Well, this is nice and strong. Nice and strong. And you want it to be nice and strong for you, because you don't want your card to come apart. So I'm just going to put 2 strips on there. I'd like to use a lot of adhesive. I'm a little bit of an adhesive waster, but you know, hey, it keeps the stuff together. All right, let's burnish that down real good. Get my spatula out here, lift those pieces up. All right, I'm going to line them up, and I'm going to glue them down. I'm just going to stick it right against my score line. Glue it down. Let me pull the extra adhesive off here. We need to cut it. All right, and we're going to burnish that down really good. So get your bone folder. And really nice tight crease, okay? Nice tight crease. Awesome. Love it. All right. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start putting our layers on here, okay? And for that, sorry, I have this one side of the paper that's just a smidgy crooked and it's driving me crazy. So let me just go ahead and take care of it before I glue it together. All right, now that sits in there straight. Sorry. And it's probably because I glued crooked. Anyhow, your card is going to fold that way. All right, so we're going to go ahead and layer these on top. So I'm going to get my, isn't that pretty on the background? I'm going to get my snail adhesive. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to layer these pieces that I cut, one on top of the other. And be careful to line up my corners. Awesome. All right. Put adhesive on the back of that. Just going to put a little bit by the circle cutouts there. Okay. Go ahead and layer that on top of this one. Okay. Wonderful. All right. So now we're almost there. Okay. On this one, so on this one we layered this side. On this one we're going to layer this side. So I always put my layered pieces together first. That's just my preference. You can do it however you want to do it. That's my preference. That's the way I find I get it glued straight most of the time, for me anyway. You know, everybody's different. So this works for me. Glue it on however it works for you. All right, got that on there. More adhesive. Oh, got some in the circle there. Just roll it back just a little bit. Okay. Let me get this layered in there. Excellent. And see, we have our card base just about ready to go. Just about ready. It's a little crooked, but that's all right. I'll get over it. All right, let's go ahead and put our inside layer in. I'm just going to use a little there. All right, so now that's in. And see how your greeting gets covered, which is kind of nice. But we're going to take our little gingerbread boy and we're going to put him in there. Now, you can pop him up if you want to. You can lay him nice and flat. It's up to you. I think I'm going to make him, do I want to make him flat this time? I think I'm going to make him flat this time. So I was playing before and I had dimensionals on his back. So I'm just going to lay him in. You can slide him down, make it look like he's peeking out. You know, whatever you want to do. Anyway, he's in there. So when I close him, that's what you see. Isn't that cute? I love that. Okay. So remember, our card doesn't stay closed. So I'm going to take my little itty bitty Velcro dots. I'm going to peel them off of here. I already cut them because I used them for the other card. And grab those. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick it to the one side. Right in the very corner. Very edge of the corner. Okay. And then I will stick it down to this side. That way. This way I know it's lined up. And then if you just gently peel it apart, the first time it might stick a little bit, but if you gently peel it apart, you'll get it. There we go. Excellent. So now I've got this one on here, this one on here. It'll close. It'll stay nice and tight. So I'm a little gingerbread man. So now I want to finish this because I like a nice finished edge. And having our scalloped edge dies will do that for us. Let me go ahead and get some glue on there. And I'm using my Stampin' Up! Fine Tip glue pen. And I was a very bad girl. And I did not put my tip on right away. There we go. So when you're using this glue, you want to make sure you put your cap back on right away. I did not do that, so now I need to clean off my tip. It's a little hard to get out. There we go. Put some glue on. Little bits, little bits. And a lot of times I don't put the cap right back on because I can't see the hole. It's a wonderful fine tip. Okay. So let's take that and our card and we'll just put that on there and glue it down nice and center. Okay, let me open this up and push a little harder here. Excellent. Wonderful. All right. And there we go. So now we have another beautiful trifold card, just like our first one. They're great for every day, great for holidays. You can put the little gift cards inside of them. Anything you want to do, really. These were fun to make. Fun to make. Super cute. Anyhow, I will go ahead and link the products that I used. I have to use a little bit more glue right there. It doesn't seem to, I didn't have enough on there, so I'll take care of that in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and have the link to the products on my blog. I'm also going to have a link to the silhouette and SVG files. I like to reproduce things quickly, so I generally make them by hand first, and then I make a cut file for them. Those freeze or file on my blog for the first 24 hours. So today is the 17th of November. So for the next 2016. So for the next 24 hours, the file will be free on my blog. Help yourself, enjoy it. It is for personal use only. Please do not make products and sell them with my file. Also, please do not share my file outside of my blog. And after the 24 hours, it will be available for a small donation. The donation button is on my blog. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm Randy from Randy's Crafty Creations. Thanks for watching and have a great day.